What's up, you wrestling fanatics and friends? You're listening to the True Wrestling Podcast, episode 91. Thanks for tuning in. I recently had a talk with head coach of the Malvern Prep Friars, Nathan Lautar. Coach has taken the Friars from a modest wrestling program to a perennial contender for the best team in the country. Malvern returns a strong senior class this year, including Nick Feldman, Jack Waymeyer, Cole Deary, Caden Rogers, just to name a few of the studs in the lineup. We talk a little bit about the team's evolution and projected lineup for this year's team. I'd like to thank my sponsor, Adidas Wrestling. You can check them out at adidaswrestling.com and on Twitter at Adidas Wrestling. You can follow Malvern at MP Wrestling, MPWRASTLING. You can follow me on Twitter at TrueWrestler1. Thanks for tuning in, and without further delay, here's a conversation.
Whatever you need.
All right, man. Here with Malvern Prep head coach Nathan Lautar. Coach, thanks for taking the time to talk today.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Hey, coming up to the season, it's been kind of a weird, year and a half. Malvern has been ascending to new heights, I think, as far as national recognition, while the world is kind of going through different iterations of, lockdowns and sort of regulations to wrestle. Tell me a little bit about the ride, since you guys have, I guess, you guys finished first last year in the team rankings?
Yeah, it was a weird year, different tournaments, not a lot was going on. We tried to make the best of the opportunity that was put in front of us. And, we had, a partial season and it kind of shut down, and then national preps got moved to the end of May or the beginning of May just to make sure everybody was able to do it, which I think was a good move. We kept it up in the Lehigh Valley-ish, up in Wilkes-Barre. So, they actually opened it up to multiple entries, which I think is fantastic. So we were able to enter a couple guys at every weight class. I wish more high school tournaments would do that, because I think it helps this grow the sport. And we did well with what was in front of us. It was a pretty impressive showing in the finals, and it was great.
Any word on what Prep Nationals will look like this year? Will there be multiple entries? Will it be back at Lehigh? Any updates?
I'm on the board. I can tell you that it is being moved to Washington, D.C. Instead of at Lehigh, which is, I was not part of that vote, and I think a couple other coaches weren't part of that vote, but it was moved to D.C. It will only be, one entry from my understanding, unless something changes with, different COVID and restrictions. They will only allow, basically go back to the way it was with your qualifiers from your region and go from there. I think we're still struggling on, there's no real set answer of what some of the COVID restrictions will be and how we're going to handle it. I guess it's only time will tell, and see how the winter sports start to play out. It's kind of like a week-to-week, month-to-month type of basis.
Do you know facility in Washington it's going to be held at?
At the D.C. Armory, which is down in southeast D.C. It's by the old JFK or the RFK Stadium, I think.
If you want to hear the rest of the interview with Coach Nate, click the Rockfin link in the description below the video and get over to the Rockfin channel, True Wrestling.